and welcome to RIT Sports Zone. I'm John DeTulio.
And I'm Taylor Beatty. For the 5th straight season, the RIT men's hockey team played before a sellout crowd as a part of Brick City Homecoming Weekend.
Over 10,000 on hand as the Tigers hosted nationally ranked Boston College at the Blue Cross Arena. Late first period, under 2 minutes to play. BC with a 3-on-2 breakaway. Michael Matheson scores to give the Eagles a 1-0 lead after one. Second period, trouble for RIT. Ryan Fitzgerald falls in his own shot and beats Mike Rotolo. BC led 2-0. Just 25 seconds later, Boston College strikes again with a 2-on-1 break. Cam Spiro to Teddy Doherty. BC went up 3-0. The Tigers were down 4-0 after 2, but in the third, RIT finally got on the board. Todd Scurvy sneaks it by Thatcher Demko. RIT down 4-1, but BC was just too strong and too talented. Ian McCoshen rips one home from the blue line. RIT falls 6-2 with more from the Blue Cross Arena. Here's Sports Zone's Laura DiMartino.
Boston College has 9 NHL draft picks on its roster, and it showed here tonight. The Eagles scored 3 goals in the first 7 minutes of the second period, en route to a convincing 6-2 victory against RIT.
Centering pass, no one home. Now flung to the net, deflected in. How about that? Doherty and all alone in front, Alex Tuck with the deflection.
I was happy that we kept pushing in the game and we didn't do a collapse, but they probably let up a little bit too. It's a little bit of that. I would have liked to have played better. There was no guarantees we were going to win the game if we did or not, but I just thought you've got to learn to play in those environments. You've got to learn to play against teams that have speed, and you can't be in awe. And I just thought, we respected them maybe too much. If there's, so I think you've always got to respect your opponent, but you can't be in awe of your opponent. I guess awe would be we just seem to be just watching a lot more instead of being involved in the game.
Shot. Ian McCoshen, it's a power play goal that makes it 6-2 with 2:34 remaining.
That one's on Mike. That's the first really suspect or bad goal Mike's given up tonight for Togo.
They work hard. Obviously, they're a powerhouse. They're ranked 7th in the country, and they're ranked that for a reason. We were on our heels for the first couple periods. We kind of got caught watching the game and we're playing Boston College instead of let's beat Boston College. And by that time, we're a little too far behind. And, I think we gave a good effort, but I think the effort came a little too late when we were already down 4 goals.
Here it is, right on you, Johnny. All it takes is 1.
I think we've got to be challenged. Our guys are excited about playing this game. It's, and it's a fine line between excited and, like I said, sitting back and, oh boy, are we in trouble.
Sit, drop pass, quick shot and a score.
I want them to be hungry to show what they can do, and sometimes if you get jumped early in the game, so to speak, that you got to be careful.
Number 5, Michael Matheson with the goal in transition. 1-0 Boston.
You just got to kind of accept it and kind of refresh your brain and move forward, because if you think back about a mistake you made in the first period, and it's just going to ruin your game for the rest of the time. So you just try to learn and fix what you might have done wrong before and just kind of keep going with the game, because there's only so much time.
So you've got to dissect it all and take it all in and try and figure out now, for us, answers now to what went wrong, how can we do things better, and lead them now down the path of getting better and not getting down and still being positive.
2 BC games.
Persistence stays off. It pays off for Matt.
I think it just shows us where we want to be. We got to raise the bar, and like Kooks was saying here, just use it as a stepping block. We got to let it soak in tonight, and we just got to get back to work now on Monday there. We got Air Force coming up next week. Those are 2 big league games, and we don't want to fall behind there because it's league play, and everything counts now. There's no more practice games. There's no any of that kind of stuff. So, we just got to get back to work on Monday and, turn the page and push forward.
We have great fans, and we have a great fan base, and wish we could have given them more tonight, especially when there's 10,000, 11,000 people here. You look up, like I said before, you just see a sea of orange, and wish we could have got them into the game earlier, and they deserve more. We're going to try and do better next time.
Welcome back to Sports Zone. When RIT head coach Wayne Wilson and assistant coach Brian Hills asked Jerry York to bring his Boston College Eagles to Rochester in October, the legendary coach just couldn't say no to the two men that had said yes to him over 30 years ago. Jerry York arrived at Bowling Green in 1979, and one of his first recruits was RIT assistant Brian Hills, with Wayne Wilson joining the team a year later. How big of a part did Jerry play in your recruitment to play at Bowling Green?
To be honest, what happened was I was interested in accounting. Princeton didn't have accounting. Jerry York stepped in, it was in April sometime, and he'd recruited me to Clarkson, but never had me in on a visit, never made me an offer there. And I guess when he left Clarkson and came to Bowling Green, I must have been somewhere, one of those guys that he decided to recruit.
I think it was his honesty in the recruiting process, the fact that I knew two guys that were playing there already, the fact that Bowling Green had success and they had my major, and my parents, it was important for me to have my parents watch me play. I wanted them to be involved in the whole college thing. So all those things fell into place, and he certainly delivered on everything that he had promised.
What was it like playing for Jerry York at Bowling Green?
Everything's very disciplined. You do things the right way on the ice and off the ice.
He believed in his players, and he let them play. Now, there was a lot of guidance that went along the way as well, but it wasn't, he never overcoached us. I never felt burdened, robotic, thinking, oh, I got to stand here, I got to do this.
You've coached so many good players, great players over your career. How do Wayne and Brian measure up against those people?
Well, they're right in the mix. I don't say, hey, Giunta was better than Rob Blake, or Wilson was better than Johnny Gaudreau. I've had a lot of good players, and that's how you win games.
Hills led Bowling Green to 2 conference titles and graduated in 1983 as the program's all-time leading scorer, while Wilson, a 4-year defenseman, helped lead his alma mater to the ultimate prize 1 year later.
My 3rd year, we won the league title again. We lost in our championship game to Michigan State in overtime, and we didn't get a bid, and we were probably number 1 from almost Christmas on out. That was probably what fueled us for my senior year. We should have definitely got a bid. Looking back on it now, I think we really had to maybe have some tough losses to harden us a little bit in preparation, but it was good preparation, and going out your senior year as a national champ, there can't be anything better.
Kane moves it in. Kane's got Cavallini coming in. Cavallini, he scores! Cavallini! Gino Cavallini has put Bowling Green in that.
How special is that memory of the first national championship at Bowling Green with Wayne?
Well, I think the first time you win a championship at that level it's always going to be special, and he was a catalyst. We had a lot of good players in that particular team, but Wayne was a captain, and he was really kind of a glue guy.
While Brian Hills continued his hockey career overseas, Wilson turned to coaching, gaining much of his experience as an assistant under York.
Okay, now I'll get to know all Jerry's secrets. Like, there's secrets out there. Really isn't. It's just day to day. Every day is different as a coach. Different things come up, injuries, suspensions, and strategy, different opponents, how you're going to play them. And he's very straightforward. There's no trickery to his coaching. It's very straightforward. This is how we do things at Bowling Green, or this is how we do things at Boston College now. And you're expected to do it the right way and do it to the best of your abilities. I want to be a heck of a lot more like Jerry York than not like him, and yet you still have to be your own person. I think if you try and be someone else, that falls apart quickly.
A 5-time national champion, Jerry York is college hockey's all-time winningest coach, but the mentor couldn't be prouder of his pupils' accomplishments.
Oh, in 2010, of course, we were in the Frozen Four in Detroit, and Wayne had his team there, and that was what the real boost he needed. And now, from that boost, the rink's been built, and he's done an incredible job.
When you were coaching Brian Hills and Wayne, did you see qualities in them that you thought would make them good coaches down the road?
It's always interesting as you look at your players, which way they're going to go. I thought there could have been a lot of different occupations been successful in them. They could be lawyers, they could be teachers, they could be just about anything they wanted to be. We're very fortunate in the coaching profession that they came to join us. And so I think just to add to the whole college hockey environment, just great guys.
In 1970, RIT football took to the field for the first time as a Division III program. But after just 7 seasons, football was sacked in the Brick City.
While Tiger fans know that RIT's first coach went on to be a Super Bowl winner, most probably don't realize that a former player also made it to the NFL. Jessica Clark has the story.
Pete Van Pearsum joined the RIT football program as a walk-on in 1972.
What was it like playing for Tom Coughlin?
He was a very methodical coach, very strict. You didn't swear in the field. He didn't swear, period. He's very strict. A good coach, a fair coach.
Following Coughlin's departure, the defensive tackle took the field for his final 2 seasons under current RIT athletic director Lou Spiatti.
For that period of time back in the 70s, he was a big guy, big, strong, fast, and he was a person that just gave 100% all the time. He made problems for offensive teams that we played. They had to pay attention to him. They had to block him with 2 people. They had to run the other way. I had to be conscious of Pete because he made a difference out there.
At 6'3", 265 pounds, Van Pearsum drew attention from the pros, signing with the Dallas Cowboys in April of 1976.
What was going through your head when you found out that he signed as an undrafted free agent with Dallas?
I was thinking, what a great opportunity, number one. Number two, I'm going to help him get ready for that tryout. And we worked closely together for the next several weeks, conditioning drills, quickness drills, everything that we could do that was really not football because you couldn't do football in the off season. We worked hard. We worked together. It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for him.
What still puzzles me is at RIT, I was defense for 4 years. I hadn't played offensive line since Gase Chili, and they had me on the O-line across from the Doomsday defense, and I still don't know why they did that. Probably because the defense was set, didn't need anybody, because they were just phenomenal. So it was a huge learning curve. And physically, I thought I did great, but it was just so much to learn, and the playbook was just enormous. And it was tough to take it all in, especially when I hadn't played offense since high school.
Van Pearsum, the first and only Tiger to sign with an NFL team, lasted 3 weeks before being cut.
I still remember being in the room with Tom Landry one-on-one. He called me Van, we have to cut you. And I started crying. I said, I knew my football days were over. And I'd never, ever forget that day. But it was very gratifying, just to be selected to try out with the Cowboys.
In October, 38 years after his football career came to an end, Van Pearsum was honored by his alma mater when he was inducted into the RIT Sports Hall of Fame.
To be recognized this much, 38 years later, it was very humbling for me to be there. I loved it.
I sort of felt hesitant about football for some reason because I was the coach, and I didn't want to appear to be selfish and self-serving. It dawned on me a few years back that there were guys on that team who deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. Pete was one of them, and there's others. He's amongst the most deserving, and I just felt as though I better get going. I better advocate for these guys, or else time will pass us all by.
While Spiatti attended the ceremony, Van Pearsum also received special recognition from his first head coach at RIT.
Jim Stanley, one of my old buddies and roommates and teammates, he tends to do this kind of thing. He contacted Coughlin, and he had a letter forwarded to Jim in time for the ceremony. But when he read it, I just broke down. I wasn't expecting something so nice.
How gratifying is it to have such a strong relationship with your former teammates and your former coaches?
It's wonderful. So, we'll always be friends. I may not see the guys that often, but we're always friends. There's always a bond there.
In addition to Van Pearsum, 7 new members were also enshrined, including volleyball's Tracy Wilt, lacrosse players Dave Dowdy and Pinckney Templeton, basketball's Jeff Haskell, hockey's Simone Lambert, tennis stars David Chachu, and former cross-country and track coach Peter Todd. Welcome back to Sports Zone. It is one of the most iconic moments in all of sports.
And the man who played a huge role in his team's miraculous victory visited RIT in October, and Sports Zone was there.
You've got 10 seconds. The countdown going on right now. Morrow up to Schultz. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
The Miracle on Ice has been called the greatest sports moment of the 20th century, when Team USA shocked the world, defeating the heavily favored Soviets at the 1980 Winter Olympics.
It was great to be part of a team that was able to accomplish something so many other people thought were impossible, but our team. And so when you do something positive for your country and you're a part of it, it's always a great thing. And you know, the movie Miracle helped another generation understand myself and teammates and how hard we worked. Well, I don't think anybody realizes what it's like to represent your country until you walk into that locker room and you see that jersey with your name on it, with the United States of America on it. And so when you can not only wear that jersey, but perform at the highest level and win the ultimate prize for your country, it's something you'll never get tired of.
And over 3 decades later, it's a moment that still resonates with many.
I was at Bowling Green and actually watching the game. A couple of reasons. Ken Morrow and Mark Wells were 2 Bowling Green alums that were on the team, and obviously their run got everyone excited. And so I watched it actually in the dorm room my freshman year. So I think it was almost a little bit of a North America versus Russia situation, and what was going on in the country at that time as well. I think everyone was pulling for it, and I think everyone always likes an underdog as well. So I think there's a lot of that going on for that team, and what an impact that game made on the country, and obviously for time well past 1980.
Jim Craig, who was the goaltender on the 1980 squad, is still riding that gold medal high, using his Olympic triumph to motivate others.
So, you know, you have to really reach down in people's souls and pull greatness out of them. And you do that by caring.
Jim's message was huge. I think we had a handful of girls that went, and we all thought it was really valuable stuff he had to say. You know, he talked about a couple of things like adversity and, you know, having like a team dynamic, which is something we're really big on here. So, you know, I think if we live by that, taking the team first over like individual things, it will take us further than, you know, individual skills could.
I'm a fellow Canadian. We all seen the movie Miracle and all that he's done. And from a goalie perspective, it's always good seeing. I think his point's just about trying to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, and that spoke a lot to me. And just trying to really focus more on team efforts and making sure we held people accountable.
And the thing I want you guys to understand today is that you need to dream, right? You need to dream because you are what your dreams are. But more than anything else, you need to share with people what your dreams are so they can help you. See, in order to get to where you have today, you haven't made any personal sacrifices. It's your parents who have. It's maybe your aunts, your uncles, your brothers, your sisters. And what you have here now is an opportunity. And the smart ones take advantage of that opportunity.
I think his message is the same as what a lot of coaches are giving. You know, when he's talking about responsibility, talking about dreams, you know, talking about making your freshmen welcome, it really makes an impact when you get someone like Jim Craig with the success that he's had, and another athlete too. So it's not a professor sort of lecturing at someone that has gone through what he has gone through, his experiences. When he gives the message, I think it only helps reinforce what I think the coaches here at RIT are trying to reinforce with their own team.
In life, you're going to have disappointments, but that's not what defines you. What defines you is how you learn and what you do from those disappointments.
There's always a few ups and downs over the course of an athletic campaign, and as many student athletes prepare for their new season to begin, Craig left them with one last piece of advice.
Don't take anything for granted. You know, don't take your health, don't take this opportunity, and never have a regret. You know, put in all the work, do all the sacrifices you need to do now, and really try to win collectively as a group. And don't worry about individual stats, worry about wins and losses, and enjoy your time here.
Well, that does it for yet another edition of RIT Sports Zone.
Don't forget, you can stay up to date with Sports Zone by following us on Twitter and Instagram, liking us on Facebook, or by downloading our app for your Android or Apple device.
So until next time, thanks for joining us in the Zone.